Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of What If Civilization Started Over. Last episode, uh, we saw the first colonies being set up in the Americas by Carthage, the Dutch team, Provence, uh, the Rhine country, Andalusia, and Scotland, and also Scandinavia. Today, we will be continuing to look uh, at how colonization moves on in this new world, and also some other events happening in the rest of the world. First, continue. Uh, we will continue looking at the colonization as we see Andalusia take more of this area, and they take over the rest of the Delmarva Peninsula. And I'm gonna kind of rush this, but to take over a bit more land along these rivers, looking something like this. Um, the Dutch team here will actually only take a little bit more land, and it will take no more land on Long Island, and also no more land over here. They will, however, make a landing here on Hispaniola and take over the rest of Puerto Rico, and also take over this island and this island, and take over a small region over here, and also this island. Next, we'll be moving on to Provence, which will be sending in explorers more into Florida, and they will take over all of Florida except the Evergreens. I keep forgetting which one. I think the Evergreens. They will take over everything except that, because that swamp is kind of hard to traverse. Next, we see the Rhine country take over the rest of western Cuba, and also this island, as they will also make a landing in the Yucatan. The first area of Mexico is now being colonized. As we see, finally, if we go to the undiscovered layer, we see that finally the Darien Gap has been crossed, and for convenience, I will color in this entire area as explored. So yeah, that happens. More of the Amazon is being explored by Carthage, and now also with the help of Nigerian peoples. So they go down the main part, but also go down side rivers. This is a lot of different parties all splitting up to see how far this goes, and they keep getting amazed with how absolutely ginormous this river is, because uh, the Amazon is actually ginormous. It's kind of scary how big the Amazon is, of how much land it covers. So yeah, Carthage and friends will get about right here until they will stop, and the Carthaginian colony. It's not even this. This is not a colony to make money with. This is more a settler colony, but it's more for religious reasons than for anything else. So we see Carthage um, take over all of this area of the Amazon River. If I can color it right. So yeah, we see this happening with them taking over most of the entrance to the Amazon. Also a bit more over here, and they expand this colony only a tiny bit. Next, we see Provence take over the rest of Jamaica and take over these two islands, and they will make a colony here in Costa Rica, and also here in Costa Rica slash Nicaragua, and also one in this northern part of Venezuela, Colombia, one of the two. Um, Moving on, we will go to Scotland, which will, that is not the right color. We will move to Scotland as they make a lot more gains in this area, and also take over Nova Scotia. That, at least that's what I think. I'm just guessing with the names. I think it's Nova Scotia. I think I have that correct. But yeah, Scotland will take over this area, and I will do some more discovering, as probably right now they have discovered probably like half of Quebec. So yeah, that is the new discovered layer. As we see, Scandinavia also makes some expansions of their colony, but they aren't sending a lot of people here. It's like they're claiming land, but is it actually settled? No. When like this area is actually getting settled, as well as this one. So that's kind of a difference with the Scandinavian one. And like the Scottish one is similar to that in the way that it's not really being settled as much as the other ones. Um, the first one to actually gain a city is there is one here. This is the first. It's not a big. It's not a city. It's still medieval times, but it's like a major settlement. Uh, which will gain the rank. Oh, it's a major settlement, so it'll be shown on the map as such. As we see more major settlements appear here, here, and here, and those are right now the only major settlements which exist right now. I will also um, expand a bit more of the Yucatan colony because I can. So the three, they're like the real major players in the colonization are Andalusia, Provence, Carthage, of course, and the English-Dutch Union. And I completely forgot about the country which probably would have colonized at least a bit. So I'll add them to the map right now, which is going to be Green France, which is going to make a colony here in Carolina, probably. Oh, that looks a lot too modern. Yeah, like that. So yeah, there's another player here in the colonization game. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries that are colonizing, with two of which don't really settle, and one just a new one. So that'll do it for colonizing for this episode. Colonizing is gonna go a bit slow, but I hope you guys are okay with that. I will um, get rid of a bit more land over here as they will discover the start of the Mississippi River in Louisiana. So yeah, that happens. And then moving on now, we see Carthage does a little bit of expansion. I mean, they haven't done that for a while now, so it probably makes sense for them to expand again. So they will expand in Morocco, and um, I'm gonna get rid of um, these four. What is happening? Yeah, I will get rid of these four, as Africa will be fully discovered. Because they're like, no, they don't know what it is exactly in the Sahara, but it's mapped enough so that they know there's not like a random giant lake here or something. And it also gives me the opportunity to like expand Senegal the way I see fit without having to look out for the discovered layer. So they will expand and finally have less bad of borders. And they will take some land from Guinea. Yeah, Guinea. I'll call it Guinea. Um, Moving on, we will see another Congo country popping up, but it won't have land in the Congo River, so it's not friends of these four. I almost said five. I can't count. Almost, almost an adult, and I still can't count. That's kind of sad. But we see a yellow country here popping up, and no, I'm not gonna leave it like that. The land in between here is actually gonna go to Tanzania because they haven't expanded in a while. So the new borders are gonna look like that, and Mozambique is gonna keep going down along the coast, becoming a very long country, and they will also take over some of these islands, which probably have names which I should know, but I don't, so that's too bad for me. Then we move back to Ethiopia, which last episode had a lot of problems, and those problems have not gone away. They aren't fixed, and they're gonna lose some more land, as basically half of their nation rebels away in the east, and they can't really do anything about it. So they lose all of their eastern land, and let's give these guys a capital over here. Did I miss any? No. So yeah, Ethiopia is not doing too well. Moving on, we're actually going to China, as another country is going to get invaded. And is it the horde expanding into purple China? No, it's not. Is the horde expanding into yellow China? No. Is it the horde finally, now that if we check the power rankings, they are actually stronger than Korea, invading Korea? No. It is blue China invading. I changed the color of blue China to a darker color. If you noticed, you're actually very well. Your perception is actually very good. Congratulations. But they're gonna invade yellow China, as they see themselves as the true China, and they want to unite all of China, or at least all of southern China. And what they consider southern China is about this river. So that's what they consider all of southern China, and they have an ally in purple China. That's their friend. The kings are like second grade nephews or something. So blue China will start their invasion of yellow China. Um, and as we can see, blue China is in the power rankings, and yellow China is not. Blue China is a lot stronger than yellow China. It has a lot more people that have it owning so much land, which was previously owned by the Southeast Asian Empire. Really helped because the Southeast Asian Empire was really big, really rich, and had a lot of population growth, so they have a lot of people. But Blue China will encircle this major city and then call upon their ally in the west to also start an invasion. They are gonna give land to Purple China. At least that's the plan if they're gonna win this. Which, looking at the circumstances right now, they'll probably win this. Uh, they they close more in on the city, though it is taking a while to take over. It seems like Yellow China was kind of prepared for this, but they will make more gains over here. Take over these islands probably should have been taken over already. And we see Blue China kind of dominating the battlefield. Um, Yellow China has like three big armies. One of them is now in the city. Another one is about right here, and another one is about right here. And Yellow China will actually make a victory over here, which is great for them, as they push back Blue China majorly and start their own invasion of Blue China. Like, in medieval times, it's not one giant front. I know I do color it that way, but in medieval warfare, it's not one front. It's basically you come across the other army, you fight a big battle. If you win, you take a bunch of land. If you lose a bunch of land. Because your armies aren't big enough to make an entire front. So that's why I try to incorporate how many armies a country has and like where they are, because that basically decides how the front moves. So, but I will still keep the entire front thing because that's like something that everyone always sees in mapping. So getting rid of it, people would complain that I'm doing it differently. So that's why I still do it. But the singular Purple China army is about right here, which is now following this river and doing extremely well because there isn't a main Yellow China army fighting them. It's only like the local militias fighting them. And to rub salt in the wound of a war Yellow China is pretty obviously going to lose. A country in the north which very much likes their coast is going to walk in, besiege your capital, take over basically all of your remaining coast, siege your other only remaining major city, take over all of your coast, kill your king actually. The king of Yellow China is dead. He was killed in battle. And they will just destroy the siege in this major city. Also, Blue China finally breaks through in this major city. And Yellow China, with now their king being dead and their capital being closed in on, will be forced to peace out. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. And this will be the peace treaty of the war against Yellow China, with Blue China taking all of this land, taking over, I think, taking over this major city and a lot of the valuable land of Yellow China. Korea will arguably take over the better land as they take over two major cities, their capital, and probably one of the most fertile lands in China. And the rest will go over to and the rest will go over to Purple China, as China suddenly went from there was brown, pink, purple, yellow, and blue China. Those were five to suddenly only having two Chinese countries. and two foreign invaders, with Korea being less foreign than the Horde. Like if we look at the ethnicity layer, we will see that yes, it is a completely different ethnicity. Also, these two are a different ethnicity. Uh, Blue and Purple China, and Southeast Asian ethnicity is kind of intruding, if for lack of a better word. But if we look at the religion layer, we see that China is a big mess between their own religion, the Southeast Asian religion, which is all over China, and the Korean religion, which is not completely tied to Korea. It didn't even completely originate in Korea. It originated in this city over here, but it's also found in a lot of places in China. One of those being the capital of Blue China. So, religiously, China is a big mess. But moving on, these are going to be the new borders of China, and now we'll move on to um, Southeast Asia. They've made some gains. They've actually made a lot of gains, but the city still holds out, and it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying Thailand right now. Yeah, but Thailand is doing something else, which is taking over all these islands in the South China Sea. Can I do this any quicker? Probably, but I started now, so I gotta keep going. I'm gonna make my brush bigger. Whoa. Yeah, so they take over all these small islands, and they make a small expansion in that is wrong. In that. Why can I not make good borders today? Yeah, they make a small expansion over in Sumatra, which will look something like this. We will have one more event before the power rankings and the end of the video, which will be the Horde invasion of Königsberg. The Horde is going to invade another nation, and this time it's going to be Königsberg. But for the first time, the Horde will reach warm European sea water in the north as they reach the Baltic Sea with their forces. But one special thing is going to happen in this war, and that is in battle, the Horde leader is going to die in battle. He was just shot down with a bow. He just got unlucky. The Horde will still completely destroy the rest of Königsberg, but now with the death of their leader, the Horde is going to face some difficulties, which we'll be looking at in the next episode. And of course, probably to no one's surprise, it's full annexation, with the Horde now having a border with the Baltic Sea. We will actually have one more event in this video, because I feel like it. As we will go to Red Persia, which is kind of on their prime time right now. They're invading other countries, they're getting a lot of land, and they're not going to stop as Red Persia is going to start an invasion of Blue Afghanistan. And Blue Afghanistan just more than doubled the size of their nation because of the fall of Pakistan. And yeah, they can't really handle it. They weren't fit to have this much land. The leader of Blue Afghanistan doesn't know what to do with the amount of people that he now rules. And the main army of Persia is going to separate these two, and then they take over this area. And then they have what they want. and they're like, hey, sign this peace treaty, and we'll leave you alone. And so Blue Afghanistan will agree to that, and Red Persia will take the land they want, which is going to look something like this. And they give the rest of the occupied land back to Blue Afghanistan. And the new border is going to look something like this. Except I'm gonna give this. Yeah, these are gonna be the new Persian borders, with Persia owning land which they have never had before, and it's predominantly Pakistani, but it had some Persian minorities, so guess it's not totally bad. But now we'll move on to the power rankings, if I can find them. And they're probably not going to be so much different. Like eventually, Western Europe is going to start appearing more in the power rankings because colonies make you very rich, but the kind Europe hasn't really felt the richness coming from the Americas yet. So the gold mines haven't started yet. So Western Europe is not going to like jump into the power rankings everywhere just yet. As if we go to the power rankings, and still nothing changed. Northern China is still in the #1 spot, with Anatolia still at the #2, and Carthage at #3. No, Thailand is actually at #3. They grew into their state. They consolidated their basically in their entire nation. There's now a time of stability in Southeast Asia. Same for Chinese dynasties. Like the people stopped trying to rebel. It's only the imperial capital left. At #4 then is Carthage. At #5 is still the Horde. At #6 is Korea. At #7 is Blue China. They gained a lot of good land. At #8 is Provence. At #9 is Persia. And at #10 is Egypt. Did I miss a very obvious country or something? I don't know. No, I don't think I did. Alright, that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. This one comes out a bit later than others. Sorry for that. Tell me if you all are liking the daily upload school week. It is being kind of difficult getting them done. I'm doing them all basically on the same day of recording and posting, so that's a lot. I'm in the middle of my test week also, so it probably won't hinder my grades. Probably, hopefully. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and if you like the video, give a like maybe, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And goodbye.